Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the weekly Security Mashup. I'm Taylor Armerding, Senior Security Strategist with the Synopsys Software Integrity Group, back again to talk about what's trending in software security and insecurity, including how to improve your own security. And at the top of this week, page 1, cooking the data. We've been hearing for at least a decade now that in a world where our data is collected, analyzed, algorithmized, and shared with unnamed partners for everything from marketing to law enforcement, that privacy is dead. Well, Apple CEO Tim Cook wants to resurrect it. Cook, who delivered the keynote at the 40th International Conference of Data Protection and Privacy Commissioners, held in Brussels this year, didn't hold back, even with executives from mega data collectors like Google and Facebook in the audience. Not that anything he said was breaking news. He called out a data industrial complex that is weaponizing data against people and societies with military efficiency. Your profile is a bunch of algorithms that serve up increasingly extreme content, pounding our harmless preferences into harm, he said, adding, "We shouldn't sugarcoat the consequences. This is surveillance." Yeah, it is and has been for years. But give Cook credit for making the case in a world forum. Nobody from Google, Facebook, or Amazon was doing it. Cook also called for the rest of the world to adopt the kinds of data privacy protections mandated by the EU's General Data Protection Regulation, better known as GDPR. While that law applies not just to the EU, but also to any company that does business in the EU, Cook said the US should do the same. He outlined 4 priorities: data minimization, transparency, as in the right to know what data are being collected and how they're being used, the right to access, since data should belong to users, and the right to security. Noting the growth of artificial intelligence, he said that has to respect privacy as well. For artificial intelligence to truly be smart, it must respect human values, including privacy. If we get this wrong, the dangers are profound, he said. Indeed, that's not news either, but it bears repeating regularly. Page 2, naked data. 40 years in human terms is a couple of generations. But in the world of encryption, it's more like a dozen. It's ancient, it's useless, dead and buried, or should be. But apparently it wasn't for the erotica site Wife Lovers. As numerous outlets reported this past week, of course, since illicit sex is always trending, the site was protecting a 98 megabyte database using a 40-year-old hashing technique known as the DE-script algorithm that, as ARS Technica reported, took password cracker Jens Stube all of 7 minutes to break. The exposed file included IP addresses that connected to Wife Lovers and 7 other related erotica sites, user passwords, names, and 1.2 million unique email addresses. Robert Angelini, owner of wifelovers.com and the 7 other breached sites, told ARS that he didn't know how or why the database had that many email addresses, since in the 21 years he'd been operating them, only about a tenth that number, fewer than 107,000, had posted to them. Angelini, who took the site offline, said if he couldn't fix the problem, he would shut it down completely. That's quite a bit too late for anybody whose information ends up in the hands of people interested in extortion. ARS confirmed that at least one of the addresses it checked was real and linked to Instagram, Amazon, and other major sites that gave first and last names, geographic location, and information about hobbies, family members, and other personal details. This incident is a huge privacy violation, and it could be devastating for people like this guy if he's outed, or I assume if his wife finds out, Troy Hunt, operator of the Have I Been Pwned breach disclosure service, told ARS. The database might not be public yet. The Wife Lovers website said it had been contacted by an unnamed security researcher who sent a copy of the database to Angelini and said he or she did not intend to publish it. Still, as Angelini noted, if that alleged researcher had it, we have to assume others might have also gotten this information with not so honest intentions. Page 3. Another day, another 0 day. The security researcher who goes by the alias @SandboxEscaper on Twitter, with a one-line bio saying unemployed sad person, is getting more than 15 minutes of fame. He or she, the accompanying Twitter photo appears to be female, so we're going to go with that pronoun, posted details last August of a Windows vulnerability that was confirmed by the CERT Coordination Center as legit. According to CERT, Microsoft Windows Task Scheduler contains a local privilege escalation vulnerability in the Advanced Local Procedure Call, ALPC, interface, which can allow a local user to obtain system privileges. SandboxEscaper had released proof of concept code for exploiting the vulnerability on GitHub, and malicious developers quickly incorporated it into their malware. Then, this past week, she posted proof of concept for a new 0-day vulnerability in Windows that could allow deleting files on a machine without permission, including system data. It also has the potential to lead to privilege escalation. The vulnerability was also confirmed by CERT as affecting fully patched versions of Windows 10. But she described the bug as low quality and a pain to exploit. While Microsoft had not issued a patch as of last week, Across Security CEO Mitya Kolsek told Leaping Computer that his company's zero-patch platform had come up with a so-called micropatch capable of blocking the exploit. Sounds to me like Microsoft could save itself a headache or two by making SandboxEscaper an employed happy person. And that's it for this week. The weekly Security Mashup will be going on indefinite hiatus starting now, but we may be back, perhaps in a different format, in a couple of months. We welcome your feedback on what you liked or didn't like in what we've done so far. Meanwhile, this is a group effort, so thanks again to our entire content team, and thanks to you for watching. I'm Taylor Armerding for the Synopsys Software Integrity Group, where we help organizations build secure, high-quality software faster.